First of all, the lesson to be learned there is your implementing and domestic framework must be robust. If, as a country, you are serious about dealing with impunity and making sure. Two, and I would advise a government I work for, be careful, or a government I don't work for, who your friends are, who you associate with, who you invite. And thirdly, be careful what you sign, because your judges, and in this case I'm proud of the South African judges, will interpret this genuinely in the usual way in which courts do, to say this must have been your intention.
But the problem is the undermining of the ICC statute by, for example, referring cases and not making certain things clear. I mean, the very reason that we're having this debate, the only reason that we're having this debate, is that it's not comfortable for the US to say there is a duty on all states to cooperate with the ICC. If you had that in the resolution, then for me there's absolutely no debate, right? But you don't have that, and why don't you have that? Because those 3 states do not want to have the obligation to cooperate.
As we note, there are human rights groups that are active in this field that have a great deal of credibility, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, I'm just naming 2. There are others that do great reports and keep these issues in the front and center. Their focus is largely advocacy. They also, and I know indicate there's a human rights investigators privilege. I mean, they're not in a position to really share their evidence, though they can be enormously valuable. The late Alison DeForge, the greatest people I've ever known in the field of dealing with what happened to the Rwanda genocide, testified in 11 of our trials in Arusha as an expert witness. But also an accumulating witness who could bring in other documents and put the picture together for the judges. Without her testimony, Arusha would have been a failure. I can just say that, full stop. The rest of what we had would not have been sufficient to carry our cases.
How is this group appointed? What is the eligibility criteria? And so what is the constitutive instrument? And such like issues would arise very soon, and the group needs to be prepared. Support the complementarity aspects, support national jurisdictions, and support regional mechanisms to capacitate them to be able to perform the primary responsibility. And lastly, and this is, I think, was said by the president of the court, that this group should see how it can be replicated in other regions, because as you say, you're not just focusing about Africa and ICC, you are talking about the principles of universality, the principles about accountability which apply across the region. Thank you.
Is an informal group, so it doesn't have a formal structure or funding or statutes or anything. We would like it to remain so in order not to be in a situation where we lose independence and as a result credibility. So that's very important.
Part of what for us as a group we're saying is that Africa should continue to remain within the ICC and try to engage and to work within the ICC. But we all know that the ICC faces challenges. I mean, today we've highlighted a number of challenges, including that of the Security Council and the role the Security Council plays with the ICC. I think there may be instances whereby the Security Council may not be able or may not be in a position to act when it comes to an African situation. And I think Africa should have an option to be able to utilize another mechanism, to be able to utilize another tool where it may not be in the political interests of the Security Council to do so. But I think we also need to be careful and within Africa to ensure that we do not politicize the process.
Africa is raising some legitimate issues, and I think it is fair that those issues are discussed. And I think this group really provides that bridge.
We need to take those concerns and challenges seriously. Thus far, we haven't seen any state actually withdraw, but I think we need to take those concerns seriously. Are they intractable? Is there no solution? I think there is, though they're serious. I hope that we can find solutions to these problems. You know, I think that to the extent that we can try to address the concerns that individual states have, then we hopefully can prevent that, the withdrawal from the ICC statute. Because my own view is that that would not be a suitable solution for Africa, in the sense that for the continent as a whole, we need to think about the victims of these crimes.
Certainly, I do hope that I can make my own modest contribution, a constructive role towards perhaps getting other players, stakeholders in the international criminal justice space to think about things in a way that I believe Botswana, but also the group, looks at them. Because really, in the final analysis, whatever interpretation of whatever provision of the Rome Statute, whether the African Court, for example, has a role to play, and the extent to which states, parties, and member states can contribute to the work of the ICC. In the end, and for me that is the bottom line, in the end it really is about ensuring that no crimes against humanity go unpunished.